Background. An unsubstantiated rumor that Mount Baekdu will erupt 2 years from now in 2025 is spreading rapidly on social media. The Korea Meteorological Administration has issued an official opinion that the possibility of such an eruption is very slim, but many people are still interested in the rumor, influenced by the theory that Mount Baekdu erupts every 100 years. Those who believe in the theory claim that since its huge eruption in 946, the active volcano has erupted at least once a century for the past 1,000 years. The last recorded eruption was in 1925, so they believe it will next erupt in 2025. An unsupported social media rumor about Mount Baekdu erupting in 2025 is quickly gaining traction. The Korea Meteorological Administration has officially stated this is highly unlikely, but the rumor has still captured attention due to a belief that the volcano erupts every century. Ever since a huge eruption in 946, additional eruptions have taken place roughly every 100 years. The last recorded eruption was in 1925, leading them to anticipate the next eruption in 2025. Opinion 1. It is true that Mount Baekdu is an active volcano, but the claim that because it last erupted in 1925, it will erupt 100 years later in 2025 has little ground. In addition, the official record of Baekdu's last eruption was not in 1925, but in 1903, contradicting the theory that it erupts every 100 years. The Korea Meteorological Administration, KMA, which has been attentively observing Mount Baekdu since 2018, also took an official position that the possibility of an explosion in 2025 is very low. KMA said that when volcanic activity starts in earnest, there will be changes in surrounding crust or temperature. But the magma of Mount Baekdu has recently done the opposite and stabilized. Mount Baekdu is an active volcano, but the assertion that it will erupt exactly 100 years after its last eruption in 1925 is unfounded. Moreover, the official eruption record shows the last eruption occurred in 1903, contradicting the theory. The Korea Meteorological Administration, KMA, after closely monitoring the volcano for years, officially supports a low likelihood of eruption in 2025. KMA highlights that any significant volcanic activity would be noticeable in the surrounding crust or temperature, yet recent data instead indicates stabilized magma within Mount Baekdu. Opinion 2. It is a clear fact that Mount Baekdu, an active volcano, will erupt someday and potentially cause enormous damage to neighboring countries, depending on the scale of its eruption. If a large-scale eruption occurs, living creatures in a radius of 50 kilometers from Cheonji, the mountain's crater lake, will suffocate within an hour. Depending on the wind direction, a huge amount of volcanic ash could hit the entire Korean peninsula. Even if the current rumor is groundless, the government is obligated to reassure the public with scientific data and to prepare for any contingencies. The active volcano Mount Baekdu will undoubtedly erupt someday, and depending on its scale and related weather patterns, potentially cause harm to neighboring countries, and send a substantial volume of volcanic ash over the entire Korean peninsula. Forecasts also suggest that a major eruption could lead to fatalities for any living species within a 50-kilometer radius of the crater lake Cheonji. Regardless of the current rumor's credibility, the government must provide scientific evidence and readiness plans to alleviate public concerns and address possible emergencies.